Yo, this your girl DW Says.
Hey, this your girl Liv.
And we are The Says. We'll bring you the latest trending news and raw discussion, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, and a special guest. You know what we're doing? We got a special guest coming up. But before we introduce you to the special guest, let's just talk about what we've been into for a little 2 or 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because any other time, I just dive up in that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I get so excited.
Well, we love your excitement. It just shows how much you appreciate the podcast and how much you want to be here.
Or I just don't like the small talk. Let's just get straight to the business.
All right, so let's just get straight to it then.
There you go. Oh, okay, yeah, so we have a special guest. So fuck how we were doing over the week.
You just said you didn't want to do the small talk.
No, because I'm about to clap it up for me, man. It's graduation week, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, my last and final degree around this thing, and I got it in film, something that I actually enjoy doing, set life, baby. We on set, shout out to Skeeter. Yeah, man, I'm pretty upset that we couldn't do our shit, GTS, but we'll figure that out, you feel me? Because we on set and GTS, that sounds nice, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, with that being said, we got a special guest. I'm going to try not to, fuck that. I'm saying his name. We got a special guest, Jessica Morgan Freeman. It is not Morgan Freeman, but the fact that it's Jessica Morgan Fee is amazing. So from here on out is Morgan Freeman, because I just learned that, so.
What an honor to have that namesake.
No, you didn't messed up telling me that. I'm not even calling you Jess anymore. It's like, where's Morgan Freeman?
Honestly, I embrace it.
She's like, this is not the first time I've heard this.
Only until recently, though. But I love that just means that that's a new wave coming.
Yeah, there you go. Got to step into your Morgan Freeman bag. You know what I'm saying?
So I welcome it.
He had a very great acting career.
Indeed, he did.
Do you aspire to be an actor, or what are you doing right now?
I would love to do the actor thing. I would also love to. I mean, he did a solid amount of voiceover work.
Yeah,
voiceover work. I'm just saying, Morgan Freeman. That's your new nemesis name. What is a nemesis?
Nemesis is like someone you're against.
No, that's your new name.
Like
that's
your alter ego?
Your alter ego. That's what we're going to say.
Ooh, I could see you being
Fuck that up.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't judge it. But anyway.
Anyways.
Welcome to Jess in the building. But, funny story. I want to know how we know Jess. Y'all don't need to know how we know Jess. Jess is a loving, warm-hearted woman over here, you know what I'm saying? Director, right?
Yes.
Director and design.
And what else do you do?
Well, I listen to The Says.
Hey, I love that.
I gotta use
You know what else she does, y'all?
Jess
is a part of the Yucca Running Club. She's the one who inspired me to start training for the marathon.
A marathon runner, be over here getting the miles in. And I also want to thank you again for never, pressuring me to come on any of them runs with you guys. I appreciate that.
We've floated it subtly, and you're like, no.
Hard no.
You have a hard no, and I love hard boundaries.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the secret to a good relationship, good friendship, good.
And I respect it. I think we've been doing wonders with what we got going on. We're all dog moms here. We do a lot, you know what I'm saying? We just out here,
It's a whole community out here.
A lovely one, so.
Amber patrols the poop, so we got a patrolman on duty. We got a running club, It's a lot going on.
I have been doing poop patrol. I want to definitely shout out Love. Oh, man, let me show y'all what Love did. Love ain't have to do it, but she did it. I'm kind of upset that I showed Jess this. Well, let her listen to it already. But if she didn't, this would have been the real reaction. But let's pull up the Poop Patrol, because I got a jingle, baby. Yes. I do got a jingle. I'm going to go lace it. She took a video, so I didn't lay this down. She took a video, and she did this. You know how, Sway, the remix god, be doing his shit? She took one of my videos and made this, and I just... Shout out to Love, man.
Patrol, Poop Patrol. Where will you be without Poop Patrol?
Okay.
Step this shit, left and right. But don't worry, baby, because I'm on site.
You have to This is so funny.
Where will you be without Poop Patrol? Step this shit, left and right. But don't worry, baby, because I'm on site.
And it's so catchy. catchy.
That shit is catchy.
It is so catchy. When you're making your show and you're like playing that as like the intro, like the people are gonna remember that.
What's so crazy? That's gonna be up there with that 50 cents, power.
It's like yes.
Yeah, that shit gonna be up there with Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? They gonna. It's gonna be up there in one of them themes. You know what I'm saying? It's super catchy. What's so crazy? I was walking down the street. What are you doing? Are you stressed out, bro? You look stressed out. You look stressed out. I gotta check on my camera guy Zach back here, man. Bro, Zach, I'm just checking on you, bro. You know you're a part of the says, man.
Everything's good.
You're the third member. You don't even know it. Check it out, bro.
It's very meta. You just did like a Phoebe Waller-Bridge, break the fourth wall, address the camera.
Yeah, I always do it. Like,
it's
what's
all part of
the issue?
Poop Patrol. Listen,
This is all like legit,
sorry.
This is realistic. I love it like this. You know what I'm saying? It's a good vibe. But anyway, with that being said, you know how like I was walking down last week, I came up with that jingle right next to you. Am I lying? And you was like, ooh, right on site because y'all didn't know I used to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
I did not know that.
she did. We've talked about this on the podcast, so they know too.
I mean,
Wait.
I did like 3 songs. You know what I'm saying? But
She did a song with like a big upcoming rapper in Louisiana too. And I heard, who told me before that you performed him like a stage? Was it like your cousin
man,
or
we
Shy?
We used to do talent shows, like,
And she was killing it. She had a whole track. Her mom sent me the song. So
Aw.
cute.
Well, I already loved the lyrics to Poop Patrol, and I was like, oh, these are really good when you were playing it today. And then the beat drops, and it just like, it becomes like a movie. That's what you were saying, like the
Yeah.
show. You can see like the intro
Dun,
montage,
dun, dun.
the credits.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Love did her motherfucking thing, bro. Like, clap it up for Love, man.
And
She didn't have to do
She
it.
always comes through.
She didn't have to do it, but she did it. Like, I hit her up this last weekend, and I was like, yo, I tagged her on Instagram. I'm like, yo, I need a jingle. And here we are. She texted me, like, videos working on it. And I was like, nah, I need something like dun, 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 dun. And she just came through with it. I was like, yo, I wasn't there. She just did it. That shit
So
was
if you need a jingle or a beat,
Man,
make
go-
sure you hit up who?
It's,
is it It's
in-house?
Lovey?
No, it's in-house productions, man. Hit up in-house,
In-house
productions.
Productions.
That shout them out. I know that ain't no helicopter being disrespectful like that.
We're in Hollywood. As they say, ratatata, the ghetto.
So with that being said,
Just like it.
Jess, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from the Bay Area.
The Bay Area. So what did you think you were getting into when you moved to the ghetto, aka Hollywood?
Well, is this the first place you moved to from the Bay, or did you move to LA from the Bay, but not straight to Hollywood?
Yeah, I've lived in Culver City. I lived in Venice for a very quick minute. I lived in Highland Park, K-Town, Silver Lake, and then Hollywood. And I think I was like,
Been around the world. Yeah.
it's all within LA. Like, and every neighborhood feels different.
Right?
A lot of people say they're like, oh, I like would love to live in Silver Lake. I hated it.
It was a lot of dog shit, huh?
It was a lot of like,
I'm not gonna lie. Silver Lake looked like a vibe.
I was gonna say it does look like a vibe, but I guess does it depend like where you live in Silver Lake?
to me, it was like hipster Disneyland. Like, it all just felt super curated and fake. And I feel like, yes, Hollywood is like dangerous, but it also just feels like there's like an energy to it where like and maybe it was where I lived in Silver Lake, or maybe it was just like where my mind was at, but it just felt very like asleep, and it didn't really feel like very real to me. And I feel like Hollywood, it's like, it feels like you are living in, like LA Confidential. Right?
It literally feels like you're living in what you see when you walk outside.
Yeah. And I think that's why like our community is so cute, is because it's
Yeah.
like this little like
We all take
respite.
care of each other. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got that. If you go into any other places, I'm pretty sure it's not like that.
Every time I invite people over, they're like, it feels so different when we walk through like your gate. It's like a whole nother world. And then I walk out and it's like, oh, back to like reality.
Just like some GTA shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like Sherman Oaks, and then you walk outside the gate. It's like, I don't know, Chirac.
Wasn't there just a shooting on Hollywood and Highland?
Yeah,
Like,
somebody
man,
got shot in the
executed.
head, and 2 people was running around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit crazy. We stay in the fucking ghetto. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with that being said, LA is not as safe as you think it is. It's not all. I just get frustrated when I even think about it, because it costs so much to live out here, and the roads are tore up. I be like about to tear up my motherfucking car driving down the streets. Like, thank God they finally fixed Highland and Sunset over
Sunset.
here, because
I
you
know
know,
what you're
like
talking about.
the little you crossing over, it's like a little hump over hump. It's like 4 humps. They finally smoothed that out, but they had it like that for 2 years. It's like, how was that even?
You would think too, because like Hollywood is such a touristy area that like they would maintain this part of the city so much better than they do. Have like way more security, way more like people out here cleaning up, keeping after everything, but it's not what you think. Like, you don't see famous people walking down the street all the time. Nothing is very lavish about it or like luxury. It's very much like anywhere else I've been. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I get a kick out of like the people that are hosting the Star Tours bus, and they're like trying to point out like, oh, this is Hollywood, and there's just like a dog shitting, there's like people sleeping on the street, and I
Or a homeless man scratching his balls and, you know, bent over with his ass cheeks out. It's a mess.
yeah,
It's a mess.
Did you guys see the hip hop Hollywood tour bus?
It's the LA Hood
Or
Life.
the LA
I
Hood
have
Life
seen
tour
it.
bus?
I kid you not, the LA Hood Life.
right.
LA Hood Life tour bus, and I ain't snitching. If this is snitching, I'm just telling you what the fuck I saw. These are facts. The motherfuckers had hit the corner right there on by the Clucker, because you know, right here, Pretty Woman.
Yes.
What is
The
that?
apartment building. That's where she lived.
1738, whatever that is. That's where they shot Pretty Woman at. So they come around here and show everybody that little building. But they hit the corner blasting music. I'm talking about like they had the 612s in that thing. It's like a van with 612s. The van was full. And like you just see them in the back pouring up the Patron shots. I'm like, yo,
Oh my god.
that is not legal. But somebody was like, well, it is LA Hood Life. I was like, they probably got their liquor license on there. I'm like, I doubt it.
For
but
sure. And I'm pretty sure like the driver wasn't drinking. The passengers can do
I ain't gonna tell you.
whatever they want, right?
Can they?
Can they?
That shit looked like he was turned up. Like everybody on that bitch, including the driver, was turned
They
up.
probably were very much turned up.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. It made me want to go buy a ticket to go join the
LA Hood
great
tours?
marketing. Great marketing.
That would actually be so wild. We should just do that, like storm one of the buses and just, like actually
Listen,
get turned up.
That shit was lit.
I would definitely be down to do something like that. I've never done anything in California that is like tourist like.
But my thing is with that, I be seeing them and where they going. Like we could just follow their ass one day. You know what I'm saying? Get behind them.
But I mean, if we could have somebody drive us and drink and smoke and do us,
I'm down to drink and smoke while doing all that.
Not while you're driving.
I would be in it for
I'm
the
down to drive and
commentary.
do that.
No.
I love, like, I heard one guy, like, telling a joke. He makes a joke. It does not land. He goes, really? Nobody? I feel like that'd be so fun to just, like, lightly heckle whoever's giving the tour.
I wanted to try a little stand up, but I just wanted to do it in the crib, like, you know, like a community joke house or something like that.
Oh, that
That
would
would
be
be
like cute for a
awesome.
summer night.
That's what I'm thinking. Like we just go up and do our thing, because I'm not a
Well,
professional.
we could do like a little show out of it. We could all go up and try, like,
I would love
to help you get
We should do it.
practice.
We should do it. Look at the community. Ah, beautiful. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking we should do that, especially after going to improv. So what made you get into improv?
I got into improv from a writing background, so I when I was like little, I was into journalism, and then I was like, started doing broadcast journalism, and I was like, well, I hate this, but I love like the combination of audio and visual and like just everything that is. And so then I started getting more into that, and I took a dramatic writing class. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, I don't know if we need any more drama. Like, we have so much drama.
We always need the drama.
I do enjoy some of the drama, but I wanted to just kind of explore more of the comedy scene, and improv is great for writing because it just makes you think without really questioning it, and it kind of helps you like tap into that flow. And it was just so fun. It's just so stupid. You just go, and like it has a very like cute community attached with it too.
Yeah.
I take classes through United Citizens Brigade, which is
shameless plug.
Yeah, UCD. That's like what Amy Poehler came from. She was one of the people who started it from. She got her training in Second City in Chicago, but then she came out here and started it with a couple other people. And it's like just so many icons have come from it, but they shut down during the pandemic too. And then they just kind of opened up as I've been taking these classes. So it feels like almost kind of like this new wave that's coming out through that.
That makes sense.
But I think that you should take some classes.
We got to go see one of Jess's shows recently.
Yeah.
This is where this
Ooh, let's do
conversation
an
is stemming
example.
from, and it was actually It was actually pretty interesting. This was my first time going to an improv. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I know what improv is, right? And I know that it was something you were passionate about. So I was like, we're probably going to like it, right? I did like it. I did enjoy it. It was very different. I would go back, actually.
I'm only staying for your show, and I'm leaving after the other half. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, I would probably go back even if it wasn't your show. It was interesting. It was interesting to see how like people transform into something else on stage, you know, and how people like react to eyes on them and like having to perform, you know. Do they fall into character? Do they like punch up? So it was really good, and it was very funny. The first half was very funny.
I had to like stop myself from trying to like shouting out to help them. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, damn, ain't your show. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to like, especially that big baby part. Like a baby just fall out like one. I'd be like, damn, that's a huge ass baby.
Can you curse in improv?
Yeah, you definitely can.
I would have been like, is that thing okay? Like I thought it was funny when the girl couldn't say like the peanut, like that shit was like,
she was funny.
Lane.
She reminded me of damn, was it Phineas and Ferb? One of the characters from Phineas and Ferb? I think so. Is it one of them? She reminded me of a Disney character though, but it was like super funny.
I know what you mean. I haven't seen Phineas and Ferb, but it was giving like.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I need to, right? I love adult animation, so I could imagine like
you never.
into it.
So as a kid, what were you doing?
I've never watched.
We were talking about this growing up. As a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch TV during the weekdays. That was like I was like living a footloose reality, but except for it wasn't dancing and music; it was TV. That was like the forbidden thing.
So did you binge like on the weekends?
No,
or you were just so at that point like, oh, it is what it is.
I was super unplugged from it. So then as I like got more into it, now I've like done.
So you're not familiar with One Saturday Morning?
No. No, but it's really fun catching up. I mean, if you have to do any kind of homework, binging on like old school TV.
Yeah, Pepper and oh my!
She's too cool for 7th grade.
This is crazy. You need to catch those. Are
I
like
know Doug.
Yeah, because like the cartoons these days are like totally ass. Like we had good cartoons. You know what I'm saying?
But what about like adult cartoons? Like, do you like we were talking Rick and Morty?
I did like
Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
I do like Big Mouth.
Yeah,
it's kind of hella inappropriate. I feel like that's adult cartoon. Like it's not for, but it should be for teens though, because it's teaching them shit. But it's like a lot.
It's not real. I wouldn't even
the
say
Horn Monster.
I would say for teens, but like they're not even teens yet. They're like in middle school. Like
they're in high
school. Family Guy was like Family Guy.
In the beginning, didn't they start out a bit younger?
Yeah. I think you're right.
Like they had braces. Like the one girl, like they were like just I don't know, because I know at 12, like 7th and 8th grade, I wasn't really feeling that. Like I didn't start like really tapping into my hormones until I got to high school. Where I was like, ooh, I kid you not.
When did you touch into your hormones?
I didn't start
this
having
is a
sex
safe
until
place.
I got into high school.
This is a safe place.
Tapping into my hormones. I mean, I was like always.
You couldn't even watch TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I got in trouble when I was 10 for like taking a boy into a little cylinder tunnel and like kissing him.
10? How old are you? What grade are we in when we were 10?
5th. That's
around, I was like kissing 5th to 6th grade.
I had my first kiss when I was 12. I was like 7th grade.
I don't even think it was hormones. I think it was just mischief. I like knew that you shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
You used to play house, like keep it a buck. Didn't y'all play house as kids?
Yeah, but we weren't. You know what? I do
keep
like.
It. Don't lie.
I don't think we were kissing, but I do remember like. Yeah,
used to be humping too.
Like humping, like wait,
doing adult things that you ain't had no.
But it wasn't
doing.
with like little boys. It was with my 2 girl neighbors. They were sisters.
I remember playing house with.
I do remember that, and I was always the dad.
That's cool.
Well, I don't want my mom to watch any of this. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on. What are we talking about next, huh?
I will say one thing that I like about that show that I do think is good for little kids is the shame monster.
Oh yeah,
because I think shame is something that like.
Which one is the shame monster again?
He like is like this British old guy, and he's like, ooh, you should feel so bad that you did that. I think it comes in season 2.
I kind of stopped it because I kind of felt bad watching it because I was like, I shouldn't be watching this. It's a kid show. But then it's like, this is not a kid show, but it should be. They should have had that.
Like, let's be honest. If that was on when you were a kid, do you think your parents would have let you watch it?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
That's why I'm like, who was the show for?
That would have been considered.
I even like the HR show. Like the HR one.
yeah.
Like I even watched like a few episodes of that, but then like Liv's not a cartoon person, so I just feel so weird in here watching cartoons as an adult, being in here with her. But I will put cartoons
But
on
I let her watch them, and I sit there and I watch them with her. It's just not my go-to. If she puts it on, I'll sit there and I'll watch it with her. That's why I know what these shows are. But if it was my choice, I'm not going to go for that.
Did you guys watch Beef together?
We
Yeah,
did
we
watch
did
Beef
watch Beef.
together.
Did you finish it?
I finished it, yeah.
What were
Talking
your
about
thoughts?
Beef.
Who was the real villain?
I was just going to say, who do you feel like
I
is
know.
the real villain? Have you finished it yet?
Okay, so I finished it.
Okay.
This is like a little bit controversial, but I did sleep through most of the last part of the episode. The last episode. It just, for me, was like, it got heightened to the point where it's like I understood what they were doing, and then it felt like they just wrote themselves into a corner and then had to like end it with like talking out all the trauma. And I think it just felt a little bit like, I don't know if I have like a complete thought for this. I feel like no one was the villain because it was more like they were caught almost in like their depression. Like their depression was making them lash out at each other, right? And she says to him like, you shouldn't honk, and he's like, you shouldn't flip someone off. And it was kind of just both of them taking their aggression out on each other.
What?
I can kind of see
what was the
that,
dude name?
But Danny,
Yeah.
Danny was a total shitbag.
I think in
he hid his
general-
fucking brother's college applications.
Just to keep
he was
him
so
close to
selfish.
him.
He was so selfish
he
throughout
would
everything.
talk down to him, call him pathetic. You're not doing anything with your life. It's because of you.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. He was the villain in a different way though. Like when it came to their dynamic, Danny and Amy, they were both the villains. Now, just like an overall, in general, asshole, Danny was.
Cause like, why can't you let it go?
If
Like,
that
let
makes-
that
you know
shit
what I
go.
mean?
Yeah.
She had let it go. If,
That's
like, so
what
if
I
you,
said
if
she
who the
did.
real villain, he
But-
couldn't let it go. He was so fucked up with what he had going on. Like, let me go ruin some other bitch day that ruined my day 2 days ago. You
And
know
he
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
even thinking about her until like something happened. I forget what happened, but I think when he went to go meet the guy and asked for like the money or something, then he came back and his brother was, I don't know.
It was
but
the house burning down, and that was his fault too because he had done the short wiring, and so
And
then he
blamed
was
it on
looking
her.
because that was his whole character. He was looking for some kind of external
Somebody to blame.
thing to blame.
He got on my
Exactly.
nerves. He got on my nerves.
Yeah, but I love that actor that played him because
Man, he good.
Oh my god, I was like, yes, he was getting on my nerves, but it's like he just had this face where it was like. God,
It's
you
hard to
just
be mad with him, though,
He
yeah.
kept digging himself into a hole, and you just want to shake him. You're like, dude, come on, like,
Yeah.
don't do this to yourself or your entire
But he's a
family.
shitbag.
That
Yeah,
just
he
goes to
was.
show like he's the type of person where it's like a true example. Like you have choices, and though he knew the right choice, he still like chose to make the wrong choice. Like,
Yeah.
how do you know? Like, you
that-
got to know. Like, after all of these times that you made these fucked up choices and all of these consequences that you have reaped, what makes you think it's not going to be any difference if you continue down the same path? When do you honestly think things are going to change if you just keep lying and keep hiding and blaming?
I think everyone thinks like, oh, it's like I just have to get like this one breakthrough, and then it'll all come together. It'll all work out. It'll all like just if I can like get this like final payout, then it'll justify like all of the lying that I had to do to get there.
It never works that way.
Yeah.
What's the saying? What's done in the dark always comes to light. And
Did
in
you-
the end, that is exactly what happened.
Did you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I loved that movie.
How many times
Yeah.
did you watch it?
I actually think I've only watched it once.
Do you think it deserved all the awards that it received, or it was like overhyped? What do you think?
I think it deserved all the awards because I think it did something different. I think it broke the mold, and I think that's why there was so much support behind it. I think it was like I kept calling it like the people's choice. You know what I mean? Like I remember when that movie first came out. I don't know if you guys know. You know the big hill that you walk up. There were like these big palm trees, and someone had put googly eyes in all the little spaces of the palm trees. It was just like I think that it touched on like. Well, maybe I'll say that. What did you think? Did you feel like it was overhyped?
Nah, it was a good movie. I just before I ever saw the movie, and they would show like snippets, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" It never made me want to go watch the movie. I'm like, "Who is this playing with dildos and all this shit?" Like that's the start of the fight scene, and they like. I'm like, I'm not watching this corny ass shit. But then like the storyline behind it, and like the lines of I rather do fold laundry and do taxes with like the little. Like the different like time, like even Zach broke it down. It's like, nah, that shit was kind of amazing. Like the love story between them two. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't care about the daughter and mother dynamic of it, but the husband and wife, that shit was kind of touching. I ain't gonna even hold you.
So what I love about that is, to me, like, one of the most poignant relationships was the mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like it was doing so many different things on all of the planes, which was also kind of like its thesis statement. It addresses even the daughter-father, right? So it's like it has daughter-father, daughter-mother, two romantic partners. Like, I feel, and then it's just like, and then also like the family against the government. Like, it addresses so many different dynamics.
Exactly. It tells everybody's story in a way that's kind of like relatable with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like a way that people can understand it.
But the story that I felt was the husband and wife dynamic.
Yeah.
That shit was like, especially, when they met each other, when they weren't together in that little timeline or whatever. And, man, it's like, I'm going to go back and watch it.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? And I've brought this movie up before. A lot of people haven't watched it. It's older. Have you ever heard of a movie called What Dreams May Come?
No, but I want to like write this stuff down.
Robin Williams stars in it, and it's about different stories being told from the things that happened within his family, but everybody passed. So like the ways that they passed depended on if they went to heaven or hell. And then how their story was told, and it was all different type of like dynamics in the relationships going on. It was pretty interesting. You should check it out.
I never saw that movie either.
You should check it out too.
You know what I do like to do as an adult? Movies that I saw as a kid, I do like to go back and watch them now to be like, oh, this shit wasn't even horror. Oh, this shit was corny. Especially all the Chucky movies and stuff like that. I used to be terrified of Chucky and the Candyman and stuff like that. That shit corny as hell now.
I wasn't really scared of Chucky, but I was scared of Jason. For whatever
too.
reason, that sound that he made, like, before he came, I think that's what it was. And Freddy, because I used to be scared of, like, dreams. You have fucking dreams, and Freddy came in your dreams. Like,
Yeah.
So how did you, I know we're getting all over the place, but how did you, like, because you're a movie head, are you? Or do you enjoy it? Or do you consider yourself a movie head or a creative? What do you consider yourself?
I definitely considered myself a creative. I think like my first love with stories was books. Like I like used to just devour like young adult literature. I went to an all girls middle school too, so I was all about like queer literature. Like I remember reading about like a girl who had, at first she had a dad and a mom, but then the dad transitioned to become a woman, and then her, she was like who is my dad?
What is
just
this?
like questioning
Caitlyn Jenner?
all of
What
this.
are you talking about?
No, this was just like this book. I had like this fabulous like 6'4" gay librarian who was just giving all of the girls at my middle school like all this great queer lit. And
They hated him, right?
no,
they loved him. It sounds
The
like
parents?
I would've-
The parents?
Parents loved him.
Okay, good, good,
They
good.
they sent us to like an experimental all girls.
I'm like,
middle
it sounds
school.
a little bit super progressive compared to like other middle schools.
Because right
my
now they'd be
middle
like, you
school,
pushing this gay
they would've
agenda.
been like,
Pushing this gay agenda on my kids, you know what I'm saying? So that was great. Because back in my day, it was pretty hard to come out.
100%.
Like that, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that's pretty cool. So in the, you know what? No, you're my second, because we had Dear Buckley on. You're my second white guest on here. I didn't want to make that so obvious. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to tell you, because when I was doing Poop Patrol, and I don't ever want to sound racist or anything like that, but I noticed that it was like the white people leaving the dog shit. So I hit up Jess. I'm like, yo, it's your people doing this shit. And she's like, well, I apologize. Like, it was funny. Like, I'm glad that I got to see your improv, because I noticed when you doing a little improv shit on us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you get nervous, but
We were talking about this, Jess. We were talking about like your movements, how you're like, well,
tuck your hands. Yeah, you tuck your hands
Or
behind
you're
your
like-
back, and you be like doing a little side to side. I could do a great Jess impersonation if I wanted to.
I do think you just made me sound like Urkel. So
No.
But I was specifically at the show. I know all your laughs, so I was definitely playing to you also. It felt so good when I could hear, like, I was like, oh, like that was an Amber laugh and that was a Liv laugh.
it was good. It was pretty interesting. I definitely had my favorites for sure, and then the ones that like I weren't too fond of. But I mean, that doesn't.
I give them all courage, because they're doing something that I wouldn't
would've
be
been
doing.
scared.
So I'm never gonna shit on anybody that can get up there and like put on a show in front of people, because I'm not doing it.
Well, tell me more about the stand up you want to do.
Oh, it's just for y'all, not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
But one day, maybe, potentially.
Yeah, because you gotta write that shit. I'm not a writer. That's why I'm like, even with Poop Patrol, like I did like a little little scripted, but that's just to put words on page. But like, I just be wanting to flow on things. You know what I'm saying?
That's what writing is. That's when writing is working, is when you're flowing on things. And I read Poop Patrol and it was good. So what do you mean you're not a writer? Like, that's writing.
That shit kind of bad. Like, it's corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I go out there, because you can't, the funny shit you can't write. You know, just like I was outside today, and this bitch, she struck a nerve. You know what I'm saying? She gonna ask me, do you get paid to be out here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bitch, I'm making the streets cleaner for you. Like, what are you talking about? You're able to walk here and not look down stepping in shit. So for you to be like, am I getting paid to be out here? It's kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah, she said that to be smart.
You made you make a difference too. Like, we started seeing less poop on the sidewalk. Like, there would just be smeared on the sidewalk
everywhere.
Piles, like dog poop, human poop. You couldn't tell the difference.
I'm talking about, like, over there used to be like 12 piles of shit just over there in that concrete area till I came and stayed out here. So if it's like one or two, hey, I can't stop them all, but bitch, I can slow them up.
I can make a difference, and you have.
I really have, and it's a movement for real. Like,
it is.
I should just go ahead and play that track one more time, just to, because y'all think shit sweet around here in Poop Patrol. Shout out to Love, you know what I'm saying? One more time.
Poop Patrol. Well, will you be without Poop Patrol? Stepping in shit, left and right.
Y'all gonna hear this bitch.
Don't worry, baby, because I'm on site.
Boom, ba-doom. That beat drop, though. Hey. Love, you did your thing, man.
And it's great for, like, the type of show you're making, you know? Like, as a reality show.
I don't think they need to know too much.
No.
Unless we gonna drop this shit next week.
So,
just know the show coming, man. The show coming.
Let's segue.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? I don't know how much time you spend on social media, but there's a lot of, like, controversial things going around. Have you, for one, seen the video of this teacher recently getting into an altercation with her student over her cell phone?
I mean, like, recently or like last month?
Recently.
No, I haven't seen recently.
So a substitute teacher took away a teenage girl's cell phone. And the teenage girl kept asking her for the phone back. Amber, where did we see this at?
I saw it on Spiritual Word, but it's been more than 24 hours, so we ain't going to be able to pull that link up anymore.
And nonetheless, so the teacher told her, you know.
But the teacher had them cakes out. She had a thong on.
The teacher told her.
Her ass
I'm
definitely fell out.
I'm not giving you the phone back. Like, go sit down. And the girl swung on the teacher. And so the teacher swung back and basically put the paws on her. And the question is, like, do you feel like it's wrong that the teacher fought back, or do you feel like a teacher should be able to protect herself once you put your hands on her?
I think that teachers are asked to do so much, and I think, like, I don't know if, like, this person had training. You know what I mean? I'm sure there are ways to, like, disarm someone or put someone in a headlock so that they can't hit you, but I'm guessing this person probably didn't have any training, and so probably, like, gut-based human reaction is to defend yourself. But no, I don't think, like, adults should be hitting kids. Like, in a perfect world, I think that, like, teachers are there to teach people how to be better.
I agree that teachers are there to teach people how to be better. I think, though, if a 17-year-old girl socks me, I'm more than likely probably going to swing back, because you're not considered an adult, but you're pretty fully developed. You're pretty much, for me anyways, my same size. I don't know how I would react in that moment, but I do think that teachers do not sign up to be hit. I do think that they do try their hardest in the beginning to de-escalate it, but I feel like in this generation right now, these kids are so wild. They're so crazy that it's like you kind of have to really be able to either walk away, right, call for help, or you have to fight back, because at what point is it going to stop?
So you mean to tell me, watch this video.
Also, 17 is like...
Everybody else, that's my phone. No, you did not keep nobody else's phone. And you finna give me my... Don't touch me. That's on my phone.
Situation
even hit her
continues
first,
to escalate,
though?
obviously, to this moment. Both the student and the substitute teacher swinging at each other
Look,
within
them whole
seconds.
cakes came
the
out.
students on the
Amber,
ground
stop talking
were
about your
restrained
cakes.
by the sub, disturbing all the way
Whole
around.
ass was
It's
out.
important to point out we do not
I
know
mean, that
what
teacher's
happened
like
before.
wailing on that girl.
She was wailing on her.
That's a different.
I see
She
both
was really
sides. Don't take my phone, but also, hey man, these kids are disrespectful. Ain't no kid gonna touch on me. But I also know, like me as a kid, ain't no teacher finna be welling on me like that
Yeah,
either.
no,
So like,
that's
I
wild.
literally, I
Yeah.
can't sit up here and be no hypocrite. I see both sides.
Exactly.
Boy, I'm telling you, if I was a student, I'm welling off. If I'm the teacher, I'm welling off. I'm just, I don't know. It depends on who foot or size I'm in. I don't know. It just depends on who position. But I'm telling you right now, as the teacher, I'm beating that bitch ass. Is all I'm saying.
Have you ever in your life swung on one of your teachers?
Hell no,
Have you
'cause
ever
I know
wanted
better.
To, though?
I
you,
know
you
better.
wanted to at some
Never.
point, or maybe not even swing, but
'Cause
like
I-
go off, right? Like curse him out or tell him like shut the fuck up or
Yes,
something.
do that. Talk crazy to
But
him, but I ain't never
you
want to
knew
hit
better
him.
as a child, right? Your
You're
parents
fucking right.
taught you like, hey, this is an authority figure. You respect whatever is going on.
Facts.
And to be honest, if you're in class, like, what do you need your cell phone for if it's not an emergency?
Because class is
Yeah.
boring.
Like, yeah,
Teach me some
but-
shit, life skills that I need to know, and I won't be over here wasting my time
And I do
on
agree
my phone.
I do agree with that. But it all starts at home. It really does. I knew better.
No. I just broke the code, baby. I just told them if you really taught the students some life skills that they really need. I remember they used to do like home economics or something, economics.
Oh my God, yeah.
They don't
We
do
had
any
cooking
of that.
Class. We had typing class.
Why do I
We
not get a class about taxes? Why do
had-
I not get a class about investing? Why are you going to teach me about like?
Why
I've
the
never-
fuck I'm learning
Yeah.
about Elizabeth and her fucking 7 husbands? I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't care, bro. Like that.
I was like, who is Elizabeth?
Elizabeth
The
Taylor, right?
royal.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I guess. What?
Like the Black Widow, they be teaching shit like, why am I still learning about Shakespeare? Shakespeare ain't doing shit for me. What's up with these
But
bills?
they're teaching you
Yeah.
about that and all this because they're trying to get you familiarized with what they call history, right?
Fuck
like
that.
That's basically what it is. What started America?
But they're-
what
but
is
they-
the American way? But they should definitely prepare you for life because they do not tell you after high school, hey, it is time to man up, own up. You're a full adult, and at this point, if your parents don't want you to anymore, you cannot depend on them.
Like none of my
Teach us how to
teachers.
survive in America, right? Like teach people how to like this is a capitalist society. Like teach us how to manage our capital.
Like none of my teachers really was teaching us about like it ain't really about race, it's about classism. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like teach me shit about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey
mean-
man, it's about this money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you just if you gonna be is you poor or you got it or you middle class. Like they ain't teach us shit like that. It's just like, yeah, man, go ahead and read the Hummingbird or whatever. What is it? The Kill a Mockingbird? Like why the fuck are we reading To Kill a Mockingbird? My sister was in school, like she 12 years ahead of me and they read this shit. Why are we still reading this? Like, come on, like come
I
on.
do love To Kill a Mockingbird. I think it's an important book.
good.
But I agree. What do you guys think about like the whole debate around like critical race theory and people saying that like shouldn't be taught in schools?
I go through race theory every motherfucking day. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be taught that shit. Like I'm going through it. It's a thing called life. They need to be teaching kids, hey, stop rushing to be an adult because these bills gonna hurt your ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, although you go out there and create them yourself, these bills is billing. You know, don't be rushing. Don't be rushing to be an adult. Nobody taught us that. You know what I'm saying? Like we just rush to be an adult and just bam, bill due.
Like even like you said, we create these bills, but like even healthcare, like,
Right, that shit. Nobody hey, bro, like be under. You know, you can be under your parents' shit till you're 24. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of students and shit, they come through. Like it's a gift and a curse. Like yeah, you're not considered an independent student. You still got to have like for financial aid. You still got to have your mama's and dad's taxes or whoever claiming you and shit under your shit. But hey, guess what? You also get that health benefits because you know you got to pay for that shit. That shit ain't cheap. You know, thank God for the military for me. You know what I'm saying? Because don't you got to pay like $300?
marriage, right?
Well,
that helps.
We doing like it's cheap. You know what I'm saying? What we got going? Because if I was to get at it on her shit'll be way more. You know what I'm saying? Versus me having my own shit and she got her own shit. You know?
I do love hearing about the benefits of people who have been in the military.
Yeah, everybody don't get them.
I'm glad that everybody doesn't get them.
No, they don't. So shout out
Does
to
it
the
depend
honorable.
on how like you're discharged?
Shout out to the honorable.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm an honorable.
Interesting.
Yeah, honorable person is like what I like to say. Some people get dishonorable discharge, you know. Not to shit on them, but it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about reality, right, what they're supposed to teach us after, do you feel like now at your age, you're where like you told yourself you would be? Or like, did you in your 20s have like these expectations for yourself? For instance, maybe like when I'm 30, I'll have my MBA, I'll be married, set in my career, ready to like have kids. Do you feel like those expectations you set for yourself compared to what your reality is, you have met any of them?
Literally not at all.
Same.
Like, absolutely not at all. But I do feel like I enjoy this a lot more than I thought. Like, I think that there's like a joy in life that I didn't, it wasn't even on my vision board to enjoy life the way that I do now. Mm-hmm. Like in my 20s, it was about trying to like achieve and hit these milestones. And like, you know, there's like this path that I really want. Like, you know, I would wear like blazers to work. And like we all kind of grew up in like the girl boss era, right? And I'm like, ooh, maybe I don't like want a girl boss actually. Like maybe I like kind of like going in my little hole, making some shit, then bringing it out to the world instead of like, especially also like kind of coming of age with social media where we felt like we had to be on all the time and showing like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. Like Ryan Coogler isn't even on social media. Like he just drops like Fruitvale Station, like Black Panther, right? Like,
he's not. Let me go see.
He might have a profile now, but like he,
let me go see.
Yeah, I think he's off Twitter. I don't think he has an Instagram.
Well, they don't be active. They might have one. They don't be active on it.
It'd be like their agents or like people posting for them, which makes sense.
You're right. He doesn't have one.
Doesn't even have, and is like this huge filmmaker, and he's not that much older than us either. Like he's probably of the generation where he like wasn't growing up with social media.
Have you ever
much.
Heard one of his like listen to his podcast or like listen to him talk though? His brain sounds like it's all over the place.
He has a podcast?
No, like I just listened like for homework. We had to listen to like one of his podcasts or something like an episode he was on, and it was like hard to listen to because he was like, sorry, I got writer's brain, but it was like. It was just
everything
like,
was just bouncing from one idea to the next or one.
I don't know, but it was just like hard to listen. I was like, damn, it must be like hard to be around this motherfucker when your brain work like that.
Could you imagine how many thoughts he's having though? Like as a creative, like I can honestly say like I have a million thoughts a day and I feel like I have ADHD. Like I will go from talking about one thing and then in a matter of 2 seconds, I'm literally on a whole new subject. And then in like another 2 seconds, I'm like talking about food and then I'm talking like, and then I have to go back. And it's like, I digress from everything.
You sound like Ryan right now.
Well, and it probably matters, like, you know, at what stage of the creation process is he in? If he's in screenwriting, maybe he pulled an all-nighter the night before, like, doing some shit. If he's doing press for a film, he's probably not getting any sleep-changing time zones. Like, I do think, like, especially when we get these little windows into people's lives, it's like I'm not the same person every single day. Like, some days I feel like I can present, like, pretty together, and some days I'm just, like, a hot fucking mess.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I could imagine, you know,
give people grace.
So much.
Yeah. You never know what somebody is thinking about or what's going on.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, it was kind of hard.
And maybe
to listen
that was
to
that one podcast. Like, did you listen to any other interviews that he did? Was
you know, just all it takes is one. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes all it takes is one time.
First impressions are everything.
It's painful to listen to bad podcasts. Like, at least when there's some visual, you can, like, distract yourself. But I was listening to one the other day with bad audio. The interviewer just kept shitting on himself the entire time. He's like, I'm terrible at this. And I don't know if he thought it was a bit. It was an improv podcast, too. But I was like, then I Googled him, and he's, like, in Forbes as, like, oh, how to build a podcast empire. And I do think it's about, like, the one I was listening to is from back in, like, 2011 or something. So it's about, like, doing it over and over and over. And even if you hear one that's bad, eventually I think it kind of hits critical mass.
Yeah, it does. Especially, it's crazy how, like, negative news or anything bad travels faster than good news. And that always blows my mind how that operates. Because it's like, damn, I done did a lot of great things, and as soon as I did that bad thing, that shit went up. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all the good things I've done, though, right?
I mean, but that's what people thrive off of. It's like how people always say, people always remember the bad things that you did, but never the good, right?
Yeah.
And you could do so many good things and do one fucked up thing or like make one mistake, and people will hang that over your head.
Ooh, like
forever.
Jonathan Majors. Are you familiar with him right now? What's going on?
No, what is going on?
So apparently, like, there was some domestic
dispute with a woman that he was dating in New York,
and obviously he was dating white. You know,
she filed she called the cops. Basically said, like, I think he strangled her or something like that. But then she retracted it and was like, I was actually Like,
No, he thought he was doing a favor, so he leaked some text messages or something. He was like, "It's my fault. I should have never told you." He thought he was doing like himself a favor, but it's like, no, you hurt your case because now it looked like you really did some shit you ain't supposed to.
You know
And
who
now
they're
she's just
comparing
like-
him to? Mike Tyson and Robin Givens, their relationship.
I was too young for that relationship.
I was seeing it all over like Twitter today, where like, do you remember they were married? Do you know who Robin Givens is?
I don't know who Robin Givens is. I know Mike
She played
Tyson.
in Boomerang.
She's like a really well known black
Don't know
actress. She's been
Boomerang?
around
Damn.
for years.
You
Like
familiar with Eddie
she
Murphy?
played.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No, who's this Eddie Murphy?
You would have blew my mind.
If
But
you
nah,
said you didn't know Eddie Murphy, I would be like, just get out.
Yeah, you're just like, cut. That's the episode. We're done.
Just to pause for a second, when Jess and I were running, we were talking, and she's like, I watched Rush Hour finally. And I was like, I love that for you. One, I'm upset because why are you just watching now? But two, it is such a good fucking movie. Like,
It was
I'm
amazing.
so glad you got to experience that.
It was quite true. I mean, it's fun to watch. Like 90s comedies, they don't really make 90s comedies anymore.
I didn't watch a lot of movies, so don't feel bad. So like, I got to go back and watch a lot. Like, what did I just watch? Something old.
You just watched Bad Boys.
I've been watched Bad Boys. That's not. But I'm just like, it was something old that I
Pulp
never.
Fiction?
No, yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, cool.
I never
Okay,
watched
yeah.
it. Still can't get into it. What's so great about
Was
it?
it the gratuitous violence?
Was it?
The
I don't know.
dialogue. So one of the things that I love about Pulp Fiction is their conversation about what like a hamburger is called in like another country, and they're just having the most asinine conversation leading up into them like shooting up that dude.
So that's what makes it great.
What makes it great is like the cocaine fueled like bam 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 that Tarantino can write, and how he. I mean, I think
I
it's
still
the
don't
ebb
know
and
what
flow.
makes him so great. I don't know.
I mean, I think it depends on the type of writing and the type
We're
of
gonna
movies
go
you also
viral.
enjoy.
We're here to go
right?
viral, baby.
To make fun of Quentin Tarantino.
No, what makes him so great?
What makes I think that he taps into that whole. I mean, it's the same thing that people love The Godfather for. It's like everyone gets to see their fantasy of gratuitous violence played out on the screen. They get to see like, oh yeah, what if you could just go out there and like fucking shoot up a bunch of like fuck faces, like bam, bam, bam. You know, like I think that that's like a in the same way that like we love like movies that have like, you know, Margot Robbie being super hot. It's like, ooh, that's like the sex fantasy. I think Quentin Tarantino taps into the violence fantasy.
Got it.
Plus drugs.
Because I didn't.
Lots of drugs.
I didn't know the hype.
And it gives you that fuel.
I didn't know the hype.
One thing I appreciate about Tarantino is the iconic character outfits. So I think in my mind, like really good costume design is if someone can dress up as that for Halloween. And people have been dressing up as Tarantino's characters forever for Halloween.
But
Like-
that's costume design. That's not him, right?
He creates the vision. So he would create, like, he works with everyone and then they execute the vision. But that's what a director does, right? They set the look
Do
and
they?
feel for everything. Yeah.
Because I don't know. Some
Absolutely.
of the directors I've been working with, I'm talking about the student directors.
Well, they're learning still.
I'm
But
just
think
saying.
about, like, what do the costume designers go off of?
They have to have something to feed off of.
Well, that's what the writer wrote, right?
Maybe. I've read like character descriptions where it's like, you know, a woman who looks like she hasn't slept in days, and that's the entire character description.
But the director be like, nah, she got to wear this, and this.
Well, what does that mean? Like a woman who hasn't slept for days. Like when you picture that, what do you think?
No
I picture
disrespect,
bags
but
under your eyes. I picture dry skin, like sloppy, wrinkled T-shirt, maybe some like outside shorts. I don't know.
Dry skin's a cool, like I would have never thought about like dry skin, but yeah, exactly. Right. Like, or like,
Or like super oily skin. I don't know. Depends on the person.
yeah, exactly. So I think the director is the one who makes it like a personalized vision, and they're the ones saying like yes or no to whatever comes up, right? So if I'm like, no, I like someone who hasn't slept in days, like I want to see like food stains on their shirt, or I want to see them like literally not wearing clothes, like whatever it is, like it's so specific to like a vision. I think that's.
I always learn so much from Jess when she comes over. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you just let me nerd out a little bit.
Nah, I just like that you like, you know what the fuck you be talking about. I'm learning some shit. You know, that's what I like to do. Zach over here, just like, you know, no, I'm just saying.
Like, damn, man.
Damn,
I
Zach.
die over this. I like this.
Zach,
dynamic.
come on. No, I'm just saying, like, can I say it? Like Zach just learned something too. We know to like change the frame rate and shit like that with the flicker. If it's flickering, blame Zach because he didn't figure it out. He didn't set up until 20 minutes after we were supposed to go. I'm gonna always blame you, Zach. That's my guy though. That's my guy.
So you're pulling a little bit of Danny.
Who's Danny?
From Beef.
Danny
no, Danny is Danny. Don't ever
looking for
compare
somebody
me to
to blame.
Danny is Danny is a shit show.
Danny was a shit show.
Did you guys identify at all with any of those characters?
Never.
There were moments where I identified with Amy because I have had some days where I was very angry. Not even with you, just like angrier. Where like I honked my horn at somebody and I was like, "Get the fuck over!" Or like, what the fuck, you know? Like, you too, Amber. You've definitely had some road rage before. I feel like
I'm thinking about something deeper with Amy going on. Like, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
You resonating with Amy ain't sitting right with me.
I said certain things she's done, like, and being like her character, like being angry, you know, or like pointing the phone, the gun at the phone, you know?
Oh my God, masturbating with the gun.
Like you low key fucking crazy.
But I think the show,
I don't
that
think
show is
that
about
I'm
all
crazy.
of us
I
being
think that
a
it's just
little
like that
low-key
emotion,
crazy.
like when somebody fucks with you.
I'm never that mad
and,
to go
you
follow a
can't get your lick
motherfucker.
back, you know?
Like I've done a little bit of road raging, but I've never raged that bad.
To me, road rage is like when you're online trolling. Like you get to talk all this shit, but then after there's like no action, you know? Like you pull up to somebody, they roll their window down, you're like cussing him out, and then that's it. It's like when you're online, you're typing, but you'll never see this fucking person. You'll never be able to like really catch them.
I've heard of some really funny, I forget exactly what movie this is, but it's like someone goes to figure out who their like online troll is, or like there's a story arc in Difficult People, they do that. And like, I don't know, just I like what you said about everything done in the dark comes to light, because I think Amy thinks she can get away with it. She can bully this like shitty red pickup truck, and it's like, no. Like, it is an entire series about karma, I think.
My thing is, spoiler, we've been spoiling. Even like when he got there to the house and like he saw that it was a woman. Like, let it go, bro. Why did you have to go in there and shit and piss? Like,
then he was so unthreatened. Remember when he was like, "Oh yeah, I guess it is actually turning out well for me because you know that dude who I thought it was a woman. Nothing bad can happen."
Little do you know.
Yeah, I do like
that. Just goes to show exactly how men underestimate.
Yeah, they
women.
Definitely do.
Okay,
can we talk about that?
I would love to.
How is that? Like, do you work with a lot of male counterparts?
I absolutely
do. They undermine you a lot? Do you always have to repeat it? And like, how is it? Let's just talk about how it is working with women versus working with men.
I think that there are pluses and minuses to both, because I have worked with guys who will switch back and forth from underestimating you and then hitting on you. It's like this hilarious, like, oh, you're competent? Like, let me put my hand on your knee. Like, it's very, like, there's that. But then there's also women who, like, hate to see other people win. Like, I've had a woman who was my boss and, like, gave me an opportunity. I killed it, and then she never gave me that opportunity again because the way that it would have gone was I was coming for her job. And then I was like, all of a sudden the opportunity shut down. So I think, like,
damn,
all people can suck and all people can be great. Like, that's...
I pray I never run into y'all motherfuckers that operate like that, because that's nasty. Like,
I mean, but there's a lot of people who do. Like in certain industries, not even in certain industries, in most industries, each for their own. You know what I'm saying? Like people are willing to step on other people's toes to get to the top to maintain their position.
I operate like, man, just go where you shine at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't shine in that area, I'm not finna go in there and step in your lane. But if I can do that, then, hey, I can do it. But I'm not finna shit on you in the process. We both can do it, because at the end of the day, you can't do all the jobs. Just like a bread. I literally look at it like the bread aisle. Everybody should look at it like the bread aisle. You go down there, it's like 1,000 different kind of breads. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't cater to everybody. Your one bread, you can't cater to everybody. You're not going to be for everybody. So why do you shit on the next person? Stop blocking everybody's blessings.
Some people are so scared to see people that they know excel. Yeah. You know, or like if they don't feel like they're going to excel with you, they want to keep you at that same level as them, right? It just goes into like a jealousy level or like an envious level. Like I don't know, but just an example, like a boss, like you said, like, oh, maybe she didn't think that anybody could come for her seat. And now that there's somebody else who she sees that's thriving, that's really good at it, she's like, oh shit,
Got
I'm
some
threatened
competition.
now and I have some competition. But instead of being a mentor, she became like a dictator, like, and just took that opportunity away and just started, I don't know what happened after that.
She became threatened. But bosses, I think in general do that. I had another male boss like earlier in my career where there was like, I was in an edit room and he was like technically the creative on it and I was a coordinator, but he wasn't there all the time. So the editor and I were like working together, throwing back ideas. He's like, hey, you're like, this is great to have your input. And the other creative came in, saw what was happening. And he's like, just a reminder that I'm the creative on this project. Like, don't listen to what Jessica says. And it was like, so it happens with both genders. I think it's just people. And I think that is
It's
how
an
you can
insecurity
tell.
thing.
Exactly. And that's how you can tell what you said. Like, you know, you can't do it by yourself. Like, gives everyone like a different lane to thrive,
bro.
and it's so much more fun that way, and you can like feel the energy. I genuinely believe that you can feel how something's made. You know what I mean? Like if you watch something and you could tell that like it was made where everyone was just in their element, like doing their thing, that comes out in the finished video. Like I'm thinking specific for a video, but I think it applies to everything.
Just don't be no sleaze ball, man. Like it's enough gigs out here for everybody.
As you say,
bro.
be a pleasure to work
Yeah,
with.
be a pleasure to work with. I know a dude right now. It's just hard for him to get, people to work with him because he's a shitbag, Stop talking to people crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're doing shit for you for the free.
I would say the talking behind people's back too, it always comes out. It always comes around. Like even if you don't hear like exactly what someone said, you can just feel it too. Like if someone's like nice to your face and then talk shit behind your back,
Didn't we just have this conversation?
You know what I think is weird? Just like people show love in the DMs, but they don't be active under the post. I'm like, oh, you must have been talking real crazy about me to somebody to be only in the DMs and never engaging under the post. Like that's literally how I take that.
Or they're just hating and they don't want to see your shit go viral, and they don't, they're going to show their love in different ways.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. I be peeping shit like that. If you never engage with me under my post, but you always in my DMs, just know I'm looking at you like a sleazy ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that out there.
Do you think it's someone like sliding into the DMs, like trying to start a conversation, or is it like they just want to support you but don't want other people to know?
That's how I'm
what it
taking
is,
it.
yeah.
But that's just me being negative. I don't know. But I
or
think
it's you sensing something.
that's how I take it. It's like, I don't know. That's like snake shit. Because you always in the DMs, but you never show love under the post. Like, what you doing? You must have been talking real crazy about
And you don't
me.
want other people to see that, like, you commented on my shit. And then
Or you ain't got,
I see that you.
or you ain't got no business interacting. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. But
I think I have for a while with Instagram. I actually didn't like following or interacting with anyone I actually knew in person because I felt like it was causing so much like anxiety around that. You know what I mean? I think that was probably a more like anxious version of myself, but it was like, it's like you're like good friends with someone, and then I had like this one friend who would be like, oh, I'm so busy, and would bail, and then I'd see her like out at the clubs with her other friends, and I'm just like, well, obviously you weren't so busy. But I was like, if I didn't have Instagram or if I didn't see that, I would never like feel upset with you because
But
like,
that just is, again, going back into like, she could have just been real with you. Yeah. Hey, Jess, I'm going out with Becky Sue and Jessica May to do whatever versus telling you like, I'm too busy, like just keep it real. That's something that people really struggle with, is like, you don't have to tell little white lies. Like people would respect you just saying, hey, I don't want to do that tonight, or I'm too tired, or no, I have plans with somebody else, versus trying to baby their feelings.
yes. Yeah.
And then you just create like a bigger fucking issue.
I love like people who can be so upfront or so honest that it almost makes me uncomfortable, or the people I gravitate towards, because I'm like, oh, cool, you're like doing something that is not like what we normally see.
Would you rather somebody? So Amber and I, did we talk about this on the last podcast where we said, would you prefer somebody talk about you behind your back or to your face?
I
said
think
behind your back.
Depends on who it is. You know what I'm saying? But after I went back after that, I sounded fucking retarded. Because talk to me about in front of my fucking face. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk crazy behind my back. But even if you talk about me behind my back, I already know that you didn't talk shit because you do that fake ass DM shit, but don't show love under the post. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know. So either way, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I know how you feel about me anyway. I go off vibes, baby. I go off energy. And you can never go wrong with that.
Agreed.
If you feel like a motherfucker don't like you,
they probably don't.
I think you can always tell who like is a shit talker because they'll just talk shit about whoever else to you, and you know that that's just the way.
I talk shit about everybody.
No,
but
but
you
not behind
talk
people's
shit,
back.
yeah,
Right?
I talk to them in their face.
And the shit that you say, it's not like crazy shit. It's like funny shit, you know? You're just funny.
Like,
I would think you were like the queen at like a light roast, which like feels great. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, cool, okay. Like the fact that you are like the kind of person who would even like lightly roast me to my face is like the kind of people I want to keep around.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to like just talk about? It's funner. It's more fun when you do it in their face. You know what I'm saying? Because it leaves no room for you to know how I feel about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Liv got a friend. Probably think I hate her. I don't hate her. She annoying.
She started out
you
with
know what I'm
one
saying?
friend and just
She probably think I hate her.
Okay, all right.
I don't hate her, but she hella annoying. But you know, it's like a love hate. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen you guys interact though in a way that it feels loving. It's like the way that you have like, you know, the cousin who always like just knows how to like get you right in that spot that hurts or tickles. I don't know.
It's like she's so what's the word I'm trying? She make it hard for you to just hate her. You know, you can get on your nerve, but she make it hard for you to just be like, man, I hate this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, because I think she's someone who is like, let me talk to you to your face. Also, like she's not really necessarily someone who would like be super nice to your face and then talk shit behind your back. Like, what? I think she's an honest person.
I think she talk big shit behind your back. I don't know. That's how I feel. That's just me.
I vote we bleep out the name.
Yeah,
I know. And I was gonna say, I don't think that like. Well,
I will bleep out the name. I'm gonna bleep out the name.
I don't think that she's the type of person who would talk like buku shit behind your back. I think if it's like something you've done to her, you know what I'm saying? Like something that includes her, you know what I mean? That could be her business as well. She will confide in her other friends about. But if it's like something that you did that has nothing to do with her, I don't feel like she's gonna sit there and like talk about it. But if she's a part of the situation, she will definitely vent to her other friends. But I feel like all people kind of
man, she do normal shit. I'm just saying,
you know. Yeah. But it's Amber's biggest thing. I don't even feel like it's that. I feel like with Amber's, and this is with all my girlfriends, she feels like we're super loud. So it doesn't matter what we're talking about. She just is like, you guys have microphones in your voices. And it's like we get drunk, we get loud, we're like hackling, talking shit to each other, you know, laughing, and Amber just looking like, shut the fuck up. But it's like, we're from the East Coast, we're loud, you know, and it's not intentional. Like, we don't even hear it.
Yeah, really just remind me to bleep them names out. It drops Friday. I mean, today. Hey, there you go. But anyway, is there anything you want to share before we wrap it up? It went by so fast, right?
I know, we didn't even get to touch everything.
I know. But what else were we supposed to touch on?
Let me go back. We did have some questions, Jess. I did want to ask you some questions because
she just wanted to ask you if you eat butt.
No, I didn't. I did not want to ask you that. That was not what it was.
Oh no, there was one thing because go ahead.
What
you talking about? How like dating bisexual?
Oh, about sexuality and fluidity and I just fucked that whole word.
Would you do you care if you was dating a guy and he was bisexual? Does that matter to you?
It would honestly bring me great joy because I think there's so much homophobia, and I think like women have been like afforded a little bit more grace with like, you know, it's so much more like common to see like two women together. Mm-hmm. There's like the queer baiting, but you usually see that with two women. Mm-hmm. And I think like men are so afraid to like even just like give love to like their male friends. And I think if there's like a man who identifies as bisexual, that's like so attractive to me that they're like comfortable fighting that prejudice.
Yeah. Do you feel like a bisexual man could be faithful to either sex while in a relationship, like without lusting the other? I agree.
100%.
I've always said that. I agree.
You know, my thing, and this is what I feel. Hear me out. I feel like if a man says he's bisexual, he likes men more than he likes women. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if a woman be like, oh, I'm bisexual, they like one sex more than the other. Anyone. I just feel like when a man says that, though, He like men.
But why does it have to be him liking a man more?
I mean, why does a woman have to be a whore just because she wants to fuck different dudes all the day?
Well, I know some bisexual women, and they lean more towards women than they do men.
That's what I'm saying.
But people would expect them to lead more towards men versus women.
I believe sexuality is all a spectrum. So I think I have like maybe not the same view of like in my mind everyone's bisexual and everyone just decides.
But
to
I agree with that. Like there are some men who
spectrum.
probably see their friends and they're like, he's actually a good looking dude, but he's too scared to even say it because then he's automatically going to be labeled gay. Like, oh, gay. Zach told me I look cute today, bro. Like, not example. You know what I'm saying? But
I think I wanted.
It doesn't mean anything, you know.
I told black women, I tell them this a lot. They the reason why the term down low is even existing, because if you look at it like Hispanic women, white women, they're more accepting to having a bisexual man. But black women, you ask them, they be like, fuck no, hell nah, I ain't with it. And it's like, that's why dudes don't feel comfortable telling you that they done tried it out and they done did that, because you're not accepting, you bash them. That's where a lot of the homophobia comes from.
I agree. And I think it's about the culture and the community too. And I think within like the black race, the thing is that like what we've experienced, our men, we looked at them as protectors, right? As like a
and you can't be no protector getting your ass bust open.
That's not true though. But that's not true. Just because you like the same sex doesn't make you less masculine.
You're right, babe.
Doesn't make you less of a protector.
I'm just here for the jokes. I'm just here for the jokes.
I have always said that I will always stand 10 toes down.
I would actually argue it makes you a stronger protector.
Why? Because it's painful?
Because exactly. There's, pleasure in the pain, and I think...
Granted, that's only where their G-spot is at. Granted.
And that's the thing, too. It's like, why would God make that your place if it wasn't meant to be tapped?
Have you guys ever looked into bonobo monkeys?
I don't even know
This is something I also became obsessed with in middle school, where it's like they are just monkeys. They are all bi. If they have a problem, they all just fuck it out. They're like little orgies. The men are comfortable with it. The women are comfortable with it. And they live very peacefully.
And you know what's so crazy? Now that you mentioned that, you know where they said AIDS came from? God. Monkeys, right?
And here we are, bestiality. This is from the improv show, full circle.
Oh, we just did improv? Yeah. There you go. Oh, shit. And you laughed. I might need to do it. Bring me as your +1 one day. Anyway,
we'll talk after.
Yeah. So, that was crazy.
But I love that about you, Jess. I think that it is super dope that you are not so closed-minded and your mind isn't so fucking dense, because I feel like that is one of the biggest issues we struggle with today. A lot of men feel like they can't be themselves. They can't be open with who they are, or even really talk to their partners about what's going on. They have to go and hide or talk to their homies or confide in somebody else. It doesn't even have to be about sexuality, just their feelings or their emotions in general, because they're so scared that if they become too vulnerable or expose themselves to women, they're just going to write them off like, oh, you're not a man. You told me your feelings are hurt. Oh, you're not a man. Oh, you shed a tear. Oh,
I just told you that's a certain type of woman, though, that does that. It's a certain type of woman.
But there's a lot of them out here.
That's why they be going for, you know what I'm saying? That's why Jonathan Majors is going through what he's going through right now, because they be understanding. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, white women are their own kind of poison, though.
But they be understanding. No, I'm not. But they willing to do a lot of freaky things. That
Not true, because we just spoke to somebody last week who is not white. Well, she's Latin. Okay.
What are you talking about? She literally said she'll eat the ass.
Yeah, I'm saying. I was going to say. That's why I said never mind.
Yeah, she eating ass.
I gotta say, I'm sensitive to smell. So I think that for me, yes, I have an open mind, but that for me just becomes a little
So fresh out the shower, you wouldn't do it?
I would consider it.
I know you would. I know you would. I'm talking about I'm not eating ass. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
That's the trailer.
Anyway, so go ahead and plug yourself. We're finna end it. We're finna wrap it up. This is a great episode. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you guys for having me. I was so honored when I got asked.
Listen, can I tell you how cute Jess is? So when I asked her to be on the set, she was like, do I need to prepare? I'm like, no, just come and be ready to have girl talk.
Yeah, this was cool. How was it?
Oh, good. I downloaded the New York Times app to read up on the news before this. I was like, I want to be up on current events.
And we didn't talk about shit current.
You know what? This was awesome. This was
we try to stay away from the news, political stuff, things like that, because we don't want it to get too messy, feelings involved.
Yeah, we don't try to talk about political shit. I ain't even ask you who you voted for. I like it like that. You know what I'm saying? Who you voted for?
Bernie.
Oh. So you wasted a vote. That's what I heard from that when you say that. You wasted a vote.
Well,
I'm just fucking with you.
You know,
Trust
in
me.
the primaries, I feel like he had a real chance. I feel like
A
the
lot of
root
people
of
did.
so much of what we go through is capitalism. Honestly,
How do you feel about capitalism?
I feel like we live in Hollywood. We see the results of it on the literal street.
100%.
We live in the capital of capitalism, where we walk up in the hills, we see the Hollywood Hills, we see like all of the rich people, the mega celebrities live here and have like
The 1%.
4 different, right? Like 7 different homes, and then meanwhile we live in like tent city. And I think we see all of that right where we live, and we see like the way that capitalism in the version that America has created is not working. I'm also not a communist. I know that doesn't work also, but Bernie Sanders did bring like a socialist perspective.
I was going to say, so then do you feel like America would be better as a socialist country? Like everything run, controlled by or through the government?
What are you talking? Look what's going on right now in LA. Like, they try to defund the police. They want to defund the police. Look at all these fucking crimes. You know what I'm saying? They understaffed like a motherfucker already.
Imagine getting a mix.
They ain't solving no murders. They ain't catch the people yet that shot their people on the freeway.
I mean, did you see when they brought in the SWAT team and still didn't capture that one guy who
Yo,
shot that other woman?
I'm just telling you.
I think
and then we can't have guns and shit like that. You know, we can, but it doesn't even make sense to have them.
Hello, look at Florida right now. Like, you don't even have to have a license. Like, you can just go out, buy a gun. You could just have gotten released from jail for doing whatever years.
That's why I don't want to move to Florida.
And you can just go and buy a gun. Like, it's pretty insane.
That's why I don't want to move to Florida.
I think we need better gun control.
Oh,
that will be
100%.
my message. If I'm going to
100%.
plug anything, like, we're seeing the effects of it, and it just keeps getting worse. And I think, we got to figure it out, because our country this is the only country that happens in
right now.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's disgusting. But yeah, man, again, Jess, thank you for coming through. Do you want to plug yourself, or you don't want people following you?
Yeah,
wanna
come find me
yourself?
at jess.fee on Instagram. That's where I post most of my work. My website's www.jessfee. Yeah, sorry, www.jessfee.com. And I'm a director.
Yeah, man,
Plug
directing
yourself.
shit.
If you need a bomb-ass director, hit her up.
You got a budget?
Oh, yeah, she's not for free, y'all.
We do
Put
like
some
budgets,
dollars.
but if you got an interesting project,
I'd be open
Email
to
me.
it.
Oh, you
about
like
it,
passion?
yeah.
Oh, look, she's willing to work on passion projects, but it got to be fire. Speaking of passion projects, Poop Patrol. Anyway,
where would you be without Poop Patrol?
stepping in shit left and right. But don't worry, baby, because I'm
you're
on
on
site.
site.
There we go. All right, man. This is a great episode. We out here.
I just wanna freak my mind.